Sup. This is just a Armor Core 6 PS5 controller button layout video. This is just what I think are the best control layout to have for PS5, Xbox, whatever controller, whatever you're playing on. If you're not playing on PC, I just think this is the best button layouts to have right here. And we're going to get right into it. Let's see. Bam. Okay, when you start playing this game, your default controls is type A. Yes. And these aren't bad. It's not like these are bad controls, so to speak. Um, Not bad for PvE. You know what I'm saying? But I think they could be a whole lot better. And for PvP, if your controls are like this might actually hinder you in PvP. And I'm going to explain why right now. Okay, I went to custom 3 and made mine. You can customize anyone 1, 2, or 3. I don't know why I started at 3 instead of 1, but I just did. Whatever. But you can do custom 1, 2, or 3, and these are my custom controls that I use right here. And I just changed this today, so I'm still getting used to it. But even with me still trying to get used to it, I do way better in every single mode. PvE, arena. I haven't taken this into PvP yet, but I'm sure it's going to translate because just how good it feels in all the other game modes. I'm pretty sure it's going to feel just as good for PvP and probably like be even better. I wouldn't be surprised if people are already playing like this. To be honest, I'm pretty sure they are, but this is just something like I came across just experimenting and shit like that. But yeah, let's get into it. Boost is originally circle. I changed it to square. Um, which is not really it's not really that important of a change to be honest. But this is how boost looks. This regular boost. This is how regular boost looks right here. See how you slide across. You got your rockets. Got your little fire rocket boost thing going on. If you're not boosting, you're just walking. You're just moving at regular speed. Like it's pretty slow. So you kind of want to always be moving like this, pretty much. Just don't really take up no EN, no stamina. Well, it's called EN, but it's basically essentially your stamina bar. Just don't take up stamina or EN like that. You just do it. If you don't want to stop, just stop. Then you can walk. But yeah, that's my boost control. Okay, these two right here. These are probably the most important part of the settings that I'm about to show y'all. The quick boost and the jump. Quick boost is by default square. And that's why I changed my regular boost to square, because you can't have duplicate controls. I don't know why you would want that anyway, but yeah, anyway, you can't have duplicate controls. So since I changed my boost to square, I made my quick boost L2. And the reason for that is I'm about to show y'all right now. This is quick boost. This is how quick boosting looks right here. This is a very important part of the game. This is like the most important part of the game if you ask me. Like you're boosting. If you have that as square, then you can't freely look around with your right stick because you would have to take your thumb off the right stick to boost. So if you're playing with it with L2 instead, you see I can move my camera and boost at the same time, pull off some pretty crazy maneuvers like that. And you can always keep your eye on the battlefield on your opponent, because your opponent is going to be moving all the time, especially in PvP. That like they're always going to be moving. No one's going to be standing still like that. In PvE, enemies don't move as much. Well, some of them don't. A lot of them do. So this is actually good for PvE as well. But like yeah, anyway, it's really basic concept. You want to be able to quick boost and stay on a swivel. You know what I'm saying? You can't stay on a swivel if your quick boost is square, because you have to take your thumb off of the right stick. Um yeah, simple enough. Jumping, same exact concept. Like same exact concept. I changed my jump to R2 because it's originally X. If I keep it as X, I would have to take my thumb off of my camera so I can jump. That is not good. That is never good in any game because you want to be able to jump. You see? Oh yeah, jumping is R2 is also how if you hold R2, you'll do that right there. You'll be able to float, hover essentially. But yeah, you want to be able to jump and hover whilst being able to twist your camera. That's just ultimate movement right there. You know you're always able to stay on a swivel even when you're doing your actions. You know what I'm saying? You want to be able to move like that. That's how you keep your competitive edge, I feel. Instead of taking your thumb off of your camera, you always need to be able to move your camera. So while you're doing your actions, you want to make sure that you can do that. That's why I changed my jump to R2. And man, that's really basically it. These are the most important part of this build right here. And I'm kept my assault boost the same. Assault boost just clicking L3. This how assault boosting looks right here. I just keep that as L3 default. You don't really have to change that. There's no point. Let's see. Let's go down a little bit. Target assist, keep that as R3. There's no point in changing that. That's fine the way it is. Okay, attack controls. Your left hand and your right hand. This is originally L2 and R2, but again, I have that as jumping and quick boosting, and you can't have duplicate controls. Why would you want to do that anyway? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I changed it to L1 and R1, and it's not really a big change. You're just moving forward a few buttons. You know what I'm saying? And that's all. I think that's cool right there. And as for your left shoulder and your right shoulder, you have to make that X and circle because those are your last buttons that you have to work with. So that's by default. You're going to change that to X and circle. You can make it either one. I put my left as circle and my right as X, but you can put your right as circle and your left as X. It doesn't really matter. That's completely up to you right there. But you have to use your circle and X for your left shoulder and right shoulder if you're going to play this way. And I think that's the best way to play, in my opinion. All your special controls, keep all the same. Don't have to change none of this. Right here, all this is the same. It's just basic stuff. It's not gonna help you with your movement or anything, so you can just keep it the same right there. And that is basically it. I'm about to go over it again. Boost is, change that to square. It's originally circle, but I changed it to square. Quick boost, L2. That is so you can quick boost and move your camera at the same time. Jumping and ascending, R2, so you can do that at the same time as you're moving your camera. Yeah. Salt boost, keep that the same. Target assist, keep that the same. Left hand, right hand, you have to change that to L1 and R1 because these are originally L1 and R1. No. I'm sorry. That's wrong. No, no. No, I'm right. Yeah, yeah. L1 and R1. Change that your left and right hand. These are originally L2 and R2, but you're using L2 and R2 for this. So you have to change that to L1 and R1, which is basically still the same thing. Essentially, those are still your back buttons. You just got to move forward a little bit, and it's not really, it's not a big deal. And finally, your left shoulder and your right shoulder is default going to be X and circle because those are your last two buttons to work with. Everything else stays the same. And that is basically it, man. I think those are the best controls for PVE, PvP, arena, anything, any type of game mode on this game. I just feel like these are the best controls, especially for PvP. And oh yeah, my core expansion, I made that L3 and R3. That's originally L3 and triangle. I just think that feels weird. I don't think that's kind of weird. You know what I mean? And what core expansion is, that's how you activate your OST stuff. You know what I mean? Your shields and all your core upgrades and stuff like that. I'll go over that in another video. That's a whole another thing for another video, stuff like that. These controls also help you out with like some tech that you can do in this game. There's like some tech that you can do on here, and I'm gonna go over that in another video too. But essentially, I feel like these are the best competitive controls because you can always perform your actions and twist your camera at the same time, and that is what you always want to be able to do in games like this. And yeah, that's basically it, man. I'm outie. That's that's the best controls, I feel like. Yeah.